Hello and welcome to the Leverage Podcast. Here with Christopher Alderton today. I'm Paul Richard. Chris has Everyday Home Repair based in Branson, Missouri. And we're excited to feature you today on the podcast. Chris, how are you doing?
Doing good. Thanks for having me.
Very good. Very good. And we've known each other for a while now. We were in the networking group together. So tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into this home repair business as you do now.
Yeah, I lived in Kansas City for most of my life, and so I worked for the Grandview School District for 27 years and retired from them. So I did, and I worked for Lone Jack School District at the same time. So I kind of did the custodial maintenance work, and so I got most of my experience hands-on. So so that's kind of how my background there. And then, of course, as a kid, and since I was 12, my dad was, we made furniture and had a shop here in Branson back in the booming 80s and 90s. And so we lived here in the summertime and then there in Kansas City in the wintertime. So that's where you just been doing that kind of work kind of on and off my whole life. So
Good.
retired at the school district 2017, took a year off, a couple of years going down the road, came down here and 4th of July, seeing my grandkids, and they said, Papa, don't go. And I went back home and I was like, why am I here? There's nothing holding me here. So I moved down here to Branson and kind of, got a job right away, working for a construction company in Springfield, and I hurt my shoulder. And then while I was off for 3 months, just heard all the horror stories about Handyman taking people for just they'd give them a down payment or whatever and never show up. And so someone told me, well, if you show up and do what you say, you'd have all the business you can handle. And so it's kind of how I started. So yeah, and so it's kind of what I've been doing about a year and a half, 2 years now. So it's kind of how I got started down here in Branson.
So when you work for the school district, what were some of the projects that you had to do there?
Well, it's kind of the same thing I do here, plumbing work. We'd build walls or sheetrock, and so, or with the school district, you always, they tried to give you two people, and if you had one person that kind of knew what they were doing, and then I would go help them, and then I'd learn from them. So it's kind of
Yeah.
that's kind of and then that's kind of what you did every day. And so after a while, you got to some of these skills that normally some people go to school for. I just got the hands-on version.
Yeah. And that's better in most cases, actually, than a textbook. So when you're working for the school district, what was probably the biggest project you did?
Biggest project, yeah, I had a book about that thick. Well, if you can see my hand, about that thick. And it was putting one of those playground equipment things together. It had
Wow.
5,000 parts, and you had to put it piece by piece. And I think it took us, on and off, because we had to do our regular work on top of that job too. But it took us about 2 or 3 months, and that was the biggest project I can think of that I was a part of. I mean, of course, there's the other ones, but that's one that sticks in the back of my mind. And of course, it had directions, and you had to cross-reference this or that, and it was it was big as a Bible.
Wow. So a little bit more than putting a charcoal grill together or something.
Right.
A little bit more than that.
And it was plus it had an alligator slide and different. It was one of those nice, at the time, fancy playground swing sets and slides and climbing up and walkways, and so tunnels
and bridges and tunnels. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. So in your years of experience here doing the home repair, what are some things that you like to do that, or what are some things that you avoid? Do you do drywall? Do you do tile? Do you do what things
Yeah,
do you
so far
do
I've
and
done
don't do?
a little bit of that tile. I've uh, done a lot of hot water tanks here. It's a little different here than Kansas City. I noticed the hard water here is a lot different on hard on hot water tanks here.
It is.
And so uh, I've been doing a lot of those. And of course, I do, and of course, one of my specialties is refinishing, power washing and refinishing your
Okay.
decks, you know, and of course painting but yeah, drywall. I've done plenty of those over the years, but I haven't had any of those yet here. But everything else, pretty much, get ready to. I got a job coming up now that a couple moved from St. Louis, I think, and they bought a kind of like an Airbnb, but to live in down here, and they need more closet space. So I'm getting ready to build a whole closet for them. Besides the closet they have, they need more room for um, their clothes, and so they got a space off their porch that's covered, and it's inside it. We're going to build a nice little closet for them.
Okay.
So that's my
Huh.
first drywall here, but yeah. So that, and of course we just got through two houses here in Branson that had some rotted wood, and of course I had to fix all that and then repaint the whole entire house on the outside. So I do a lot of repairing of, especially one guy had woodpecker holes, and then another guy just had some rotting, uh, wasn't sealed. I'm a firm believer on caulking goes a long way. It helps keep from rotting wood and water getting in. If you get a little pinhole, it rots. Just after a while, the water gets in there and starts rotting, and then it turns into a bigger problem. So maintain kind of like a
Absolutely.
home repair is kind of like your car. You need to keep up on the oil changes and stuff like that. It's kind of like the home repair, not kind of this that simple. A lot of the little stuff that you do will go a long way.
Sure, sure. Now, in your business that you're doing, do you have some favorite things that you do?
Oh, my favorite things to do, because you get to see. I've done, not this winter, but last winter I did refinished a guy's whole cabin. It had all the guts tore out of it, and we put that nice knotty pine, made walls, made a bathroom for him. So that was one of my first projects when I came to town here, that it kept me busy pretty much all winter long. And so those are kind of fun, because you get to see an empty canvas, and then when you're done, it's this beautiful cabin with the woody pine and of course me made fake beams and stuff like that, and to kind of give it a log cabin on the inside look. So. And then, of course,
Yeah.
we did the barn door for rooms and stuff, and it has, kind of had the nice woody pine with a dark walnut stain, and so it kind of had a nice contrast of both, and it was a really neat project to see come to finish to start, so we did all the walls and ran wire to, for plug-ins. And then of course we did the nice laminate floor after we got done with all the walls to finish it out, the floors.
I gotcha. Are you doing
That's
any
my favorite thing to do, is kind of see a project like that, even though it's lengthy, you get to see start to finish.
Sure. Let me ask you this. Do you general contract anything as far as hiring some other trades if you need to for, heating, air conditioning, plumbing,
Yeah,
electrical?
the plumbing part I do myself. I mean, I've done a lot of um replumbing houses and stuff like that. And so it's, with the new uh PEX and stuff, that it's of course it is a little bit more forgiving. PEX is on, especially in the wintertime, it kind of freezes a little bit. It swells a little bit before it bursts. Like copper, it just doesn't have any flexibility on it, and it'll bust right away. So the new plumbing stuff has come a long way for that. So,
Sure, sure. Well,
but
that's
yeah, on
awesome.
general contracting, yeah, especially electric, I'm not I mean, I can put in a ceiling fan or a light or something, but anything that goes in the box or changing breakers or anything like that, I try not to mess with. I'm a little
I see.
scared of the electricity in the box. So
Sure. Very good. Do you have a website for your business?
not yet. We're working that on next.
Okay. Okay. So how do you normally get your business? What's your I know
So
you're
far,
in
I've been
networking, but
doing. So far, I'm doing word of mouth. I'm getting
okay.
ready to. We want to venture on to Facebook and then get the Google review up. Is our next step in our business.
Okay. Okay. Who's going to do that for you?
I think we got someone in our network group that just came on, and so I actually talked to him last Thursday, and then he called me this week, and I haven't had a chance to get back with him.
Good. Good. Okay. Fantastic. So how big do you see that your business growing? What are you thinking? Are you going to be sending out crews or are you just going to
I'd
be
like to have
keeping
like
it?
I'm trying to find someone to can work with me first, and then if we get busier, that having a couple crews, but it's definitely Branson's got the business and the surrounding areas, especially if someone what we try to do is communicate with our clients, and that's what our clients like to say about us is we have a good communication of keeping with them when we're going to show up and when we're going to be there, or if something came up that day, oh, I can't show up that day because I had an emergency plumbing job or something. And so people appreciate communication, that we try to keep in good communication with all our clients.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. And are you using a CRM to contact them or do you just keep it in your phone? How does that work?
Yeah, I have a my regular phone, and then I have a business phone.
Okay. So you separate those out. All
Yeah, well,
right.
mine's
Well,
a yeah, I try to get people to call my other phone. And sometimes they do and sometimes they don't, but we write all those names and numbers and down and put them in a, like, this person's first, first come, first serve is kind of what we do. And so that's how we keep people separated from who's next. And then if we call them up and they say, well, not right now, then we'll put that person to the back of the list and the next person up. So
very good. So in your advertising, how do they get a hold of you if you don't have a website? Is it just a phone number? Do you want to give us your phone number so that
yeah,
the
phone number is going to be
podcast guys can watch?
is 8128-7049.
70.
How we've been doing it so far, and we just haven't got a chance to get a website yet, and we're working on that as soon as possible,
Very
especially
good. Very
on
good.
Facebook, and we're going to try to get a Google review too. So if someone Googles Handyman, that will pop up somehow. So
Sure, sure. That is the way of doing business these days. That is for sure. So I would get on that as soon as you can. I think you'll find that that'll take off for you in that. So, well, fantastic. Well, Chris, it's been great having you on the podcast. Great to learn about your business, and certainly looking forward to referring you some more in your world as to what you can do. And I've learned a lot in this time with you together. I appreciate it, sir. And any
appreciate
closing
you, sir.
comments? Anything else you want? Yeah.
No, no, just yeah, we no matter big or small, we try to we'll take care of you. Any honeydew list or any kind of repair of any kind, just give us a call.
All right. That sounds good. All right. Well, take care, everybody. We'll see you next time.